It started actually because I work in the field of behavior analysis, applied behavior analysis, and I noticed that there were a lot of inequities for our field, considering that it's a female-dominated field. So at the master's level and higher in my field, it's about 88% women, but a lot of the companies are owned by men, the speakers at conferences are men, the books that we read about, they're written by men. And so this idea came up that there's got to be a reason for it. And I would like to see, how pronounced is it really? So when I decided to attend Sac State, I kind of came in already having an idea of what I wanted to research, just inequity within the field. Then it took some work to figure out what area exactly. Is it going to be pay inequity or more representation? And what I found was that the idea of the tenure trifecta with the the teaching that you do, the service to university, and the research were areas I'm really interested in because I would like to eventually teach in higher education. So I thought, well, let's pick one aspect there. And in a lit review, I found a wonderful study that was published in 2000, and I decided to replicate and expand on their original study and found some really interesting developments since the previous study. And then I took over basically the last 21 years to catch up to where they left off in 1997. So I looked at the publication rates of women in behavior analysis. So I was looking at their overall number of female authors that have been published across 7 different journals in the field of ABA. And then I looked at the authorship position. So looking at the difference between first authorship and last authorship, as first authorship is generally the most prestigious, and last authorship position is usually in our field for those like the mentors, the advisors, and things like that. So hold a little bit more weight than just included in authorship somewhere in the middle. And then I wanted to see if the gender of the author was at all related to the gender of the editor, who was then making those initial, determinations of whether it should be something that is further reviewed by the editorial board. So I looked at those 4 questions and just generally found that the overall authorship has increased over time, which is fantastic. But the first authorship position decreased significantly. And we're talking like from 40% first authorship for females down to 23%. Which you would expect to not necessarily change so much over time. So we did find some major results there. But the same thing was true for the last authorship position, quite a few points down over the 21-year span. And then I also found a significant relationship between the gender of the author and editor, in that male editors were much less likely to publish or move female authors into the next part of the review process. So more female editors were publishing more female authors and fewer male editors publishing those female authors. This research was the jumping off point for my career. I was in applied behavior analysis for many years. So I started in that in 2005. And I really liked being a practitioner, and I liked working one-on-one with individuals. And I liked the idea of research that other people did. I just didn't really see myself in that kind of a place. But now having this experience and being able to, I feel like I was able to come up with something that is valuable and going to be impactful in our community. I would like to continue doing that. So it wasn't just that this is something that was important and I learned about it and that's great. This is something that is now my life, and I will be doing more research. And without the experience that I've had here at Sac State, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that because I didn't have the confidence and the practical experience in actually how to do it. Even beyond just this one project, all of the just various opportunities for research that Sac State specifically has given me has been immense, and I am so excited for the next steps. Well, COVID. That was the big thing, because I was with a really great group of students in a cohort. We were very close. We supported each other. We cheered each other on, constantly. And each term we would have one of those classes where we were pretty much all there together, and we were following each other's research and asking questions. And I think that really kind of fell apart when we went remote. So it ended up, I know, at least for me and a couple of other students that I keep in contact with, it made us feel like it took a little longer for us to get that motivation back in place and to get through all of the hurdles. I like to spend a lot of time, say, on campus in the library to really focus that attention. So finding that private, quiet time to work at home was a little bit trickier as well. But I would say that without the COVID concern, I found it to be a great experience and a great program to be in. And I don't know that I would have had any of those obstacles that I feel like I encountered just trying to switch my brain from in-person to remote. First, just do it, jump in, be first, go. I think that I was so hesitant at first that I look back at all these opportunities that I may have missed out on just because I was more afraid of not being able to do it. I know that imposter syndrome has come up in, more of our social conversations these days, and people are more aware of it, but it's a real thing, and it's problematic when you're trying to branch it out a little bit and go a little bit outside your comfort zone. But especially at Sac State, everybody is so supportive, and they have so many great ideas, and they're willing to help get you your foot in the door so that you don't have that fear. I think just jump in. There will be people there to help you out, definitely.